September 27th, 2018, Calvin Castine at Consumer Square in Plattsburgh. And we're recording here today because this scene is shifting here. We sometimes forget as years go by, those of us who are old enough to be able to remember how things were, and once things happen, they kind of become routine. But before I give the date, for those of you who've been in the area for more than a couple of decades, think back to when you think Consumer Squares came in here, and I'll give you that date in a moment. Before then, the Comfort Inn, which is located right here, their entrance and exit was right there off Route 3 or Upper Cornelia Street, whichever you prefer to call it. But since the Consumer Squares came in, their entrance and exit has been here off the driveway. I checked my Sam's Club membership card, and much to my surprise, it said 25 years ago, as we're recording this in 2018, November of 1993. So this has been this way for a quarter of a decade, and I'm sure to a lot of people it's been their whole driving experience. And a new driving experience is just starting to take shape as we see cars going, or potentially going, straight. Ever since this establishment was here, there was always nothing across the road, nothing to draw the traffic. It was just a vacant lot. I think there was a building on there for a short period of time, but recently it's been a vacant lot with a big for sale sign. But about a week away from today, on September 27th, the long-awaited arrival and grand opening of Chick-fil-A's will take part. So we're doing this little video for the audience here in September, October of 2018. We're also doing it in mind that generations from now, this will hopefully still be available on the internet, and people can learn about how this little part of the world took shape. So we're going to wander across the street and talk to some of the people involved with that. So stick with us, please. I think you're going to find this interesting. Here's a view that's soon to become normal and routine. It's a view that not many people have had the privilege of seeing. From this angle, it's the traffic leaving the Consumer Square Comfort Inn area. There's a veterinary service in that white building there. And I'm not sure if their entrance will now be through here, but we'll probably find that out when we're talking to our folks from Chick-fil-A. Last year, McDonald's restaurant was having their grand opening. They had a lot of last-minute things that needed to be done. They had their grand reopening, I should say. They've been there a long time. And I realized after I shut the camera off that 1993, I'm pretty sure that's the year that Miramar in the summer came into town of Champlain. And of course, Miramar is now closed, and has been closed for about 19 years. All right, there's an old saying that if it were easy, everybody would do it. And what I see here is a heck of a lot of preparation before all this is going to take place. And Neil Fassett, we're doing this for basically 3 audiences. The ones who will see it on the internet before this facility opens on October 4th. The ones who will see it on cable shortly after it opens, because I can't quite squeeze it on cable in time, but it'll be there. And the ones who will see this on the internet a month, 10 years, 20 years down the road. So we got basically 3 types of viewers. But for the time being, we'll try to talk to the ones who will be here on October 4th. Right. Now, this property's been sitting here a long time, Neil, and I know you've got Fassett Realty and a few other endeavors. What point in time did you say we got to do something with that property?
Well, we actually acquired this about 5 years ago. When I say this, what I mean is there was actually 3 parcels. So what you see here with the site that Chick-fil-A is on, where the new roadway entrance is, and then the veterinary practice over here, Champlain Valley Veterinary Services, we acquired all 3 of those with a plan to kind of redevelop the whole site. So we're kind of halfway through that process, Chick-fil-A being the first half, and then eventually Champlain Valley Veterinary Services, for the time being, are going to stay there, but in a perfect world, we probably move them to another site, fit them up in a new building, and then have another tenant that would take over that site. That would be another new project, whether it be a restaurant or another retail, somebody of that nature. So, been a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that have gone into it. A lot of preparation. Very, very challenging site. Had to get a lot of people to get along and play nice, and kind of get everybody's wants and needs and goals kind of aligned. Holiday Inn has been a really good partner, and I think that the development, for them, I think has been really good from the standpoint of really cleaning up their access. As everybody that's spent any time going up and down Route 3 that has entered and exited their property from the former entrance, I mean, just a flat-out dangerous intersection.
With no light there to let people stop and they can turn coming from the other west.
To make a left-hand turn out of there during a busy time, a lot of times you'd have to make a right, do a U-turn. Mm-hmm. Just dangerous. A lot of fender benders there. So DOT and the town of Plattsburgh were very much in favor of this plan to close that off. We'll build this road, this new road, and then close that off, and then it's at a controlled intersection. So, it doesn't necessarily look really sexy, so to speak, but I'll tell you, there's a ton of planning went into the development of the road. RMS Engineering, which is Aaron Ovius, contracted with another engineering firm who specializes in traffic control and traffic signaling, and I mean, there was just a lot of effort and time, and I wouldn't even pretend to be anywhere near an expert on that. You have to hire people that, that's kind of what they do, and there was a lot of back and forth with Benderson Development, who owns Consumer Square across the road, because obviously they've got a large financial interest in the traffic that's going in and out of their site.
Right.
And we ultimately were able to get everybody in agreement and get that phase of the project built and opened, and it's working good.
Well, I don't see any way it could impact negatively the Consumer Square. It just people can go straight when they leave there now, and leave here and go straight into there.
That's most people's perspective. The other perspective on the flip side of that coin, which is theirs, would be that depending on how the light is signaled and how the interchange works to kind of move the traffic through the intersection, their view could be that it would slow traffic down going into their site, which would not be good for their tenants. So there was a back and forth with that, but like I said, ultimately after much wrangling, we had a meeting of the minds and made an agreement, and really DOT ultimately drives the show on that.
Well, of course, I mean, they can't stop you from putting something here. They can complain and put up good arguments, but it's up to the DOT to make that decision that yes, there should be an entrance right here.
Correct. Fortunately, we didn't have to, there was no litigation, no lawsuit, anything like that. And I think they were ultimately happy and accepted the outcome. And that's my goal always when negotiating anything, is to try to get everybody what they want.
Now, you've called this a road. Is this a road or is this your driveway?
Well, it's well, I guess we can maybe call it both. It's a private road.
Okay.
That's actually owned by Holiday Inn, and there are easements for Chick-fil-A and for the veterinary clinic. And actually, we've granted access to Holbert Brothers for them to get in and out of their site, which they may or may not use, but they were another interested party to this whole transaction, because the third site that was acquired was purchased from Holbert Brothers. So part of their willingness to sell the property, they negotiated to get access to the exit here, because they also have kind of a tough left-hand turn during busy times.
So there's a lot of financing going on right here. There's still roads and driveways being built over that way. So this didn't come cheap.
This did not come cheap. There's a lot of money sitting here, that's for sure. And we got Michael King, who's the new franchisee, who's pulling up the rear here, and he's going to be selling lots of chicken sandwiches here come October 4th, and that's when everybody starts getting a return on their investment. And really, we're really down to closing off the former entrance to Holiday Inn, and that's really the last thing that I've got to do, which is my part of the project, and to get our site over here behind you, which was kind of our staging area where you see the container, and we got just a few piles of material that are left, get that cleaned up, and then we're kind of in a holding pattern after that.
Yeah, for the time being, if you want to access the veterinary services, you come in here and you drive around and drive up into there. So
that's correct.
That's how you access that building, where before you could put your life in your hands and cross the road and so on. I checked my Sam's Club membership card before I started recording here, because I remember when Comfort Inn had an access right directly off Route 3, and it's been 25 years. 1993, believe it or not, is when you probably know that already from your research here, but that's a quarter of a decade has gone by, and
it's come a long way. I mean, Route 3's come a long way, and it's those of us that have been here have just tracked and followed that growth, and it's been, the development has been pretty eye-popping, and the traffic increases have been, I mean, it's a staggering number here. This is actually the highest traffic count intersection it's the whole northern corridor, so from Plattsburgh to Watertown, this intersection right here has the most traffic.
I can't, you're looking right now, you would think it was the middle of the summer here, and here we are September 27th with that amount of traffic coming in and out of there.
There is, and come October 4th, there's going to be a lot more.
All right, anything else before we wrap, Mike?
It's a good segue to introduce Michael King.
All right, Michael King. I'll shut the camera off so I can introduce myself.
Sounds good.
All right, we're back with the two franchise owners here. Not one, but two. They're a team, I've heard.
That's right. We're a team for sure.
All right.
So, yeah.
Michael King. No,
you,
my mic.
I don't get it? Okay, I'll let you
sorry.
keep it.
Last time I did that, the guy never handed it back. And,
all right.
Michael King, it says owner-operator, and Sarah King doesn't say owner-operator on yours.
No.
It's all his?
It is. He officially is the owner-operator, and I'm his helper.
Oh, okay.
My better half, for sure. But
all right, so you were telling me off camera you've been here for 7 months already.
7 months, yep. So we've been living here for 7 months. We love it so far. I know we're yet to go through the winter, but we're from Maine originally, so we're familiar with winters. That's the first question anyone asks up here is, have you been in a winter? So we are familiar with what some rough winters look like. But we've been traveling with corporate Chick-fil-A for about 5.5 years now. And we lived in 10 different states, 15 different locations. So we've been all over. We're excited to put down some roots, settle down here in Plattsburgh, and enjoy the seasons in the community.
All right, so this is, although you've worked for Chick-fil-A, this is your first franchise.
Correct, yes. So this is my first franchise, and probably will be my only franchise. Chick-fil-A is unique in that where they don't allow you to have any other business venture or other franchises. It actually needs to be within a 5-mile radius, and given how big the restaurant is, I don't think there's another town near here which will sustain another restaurant like this, so this will probably be my only one.
All right. So I imagine you're anxious for this October 4th opening date.
Incredibly excited. Over the last couple of weeks, we've had equipment come in, we've had furniture come in, and I know I've been like a little kid, just excited. Christmas, all the new presents getting put in, our landscaping's been put up. It's just every little tiny piece has been coming together, and now we have our sign out front opening in 7 days from now. So 1 week from today, October 4th, we'll be opening up. We'll be opening up at 6:30 in the morning. Ready to go. We do serve breakfast. Most people are, what, chicken for breakfast? But yep, it's really good. Come on in and try it. And we'll be open from 6:30 till 10 o'clock at night. Yeah, we have 95 employees. So we have 95 people who have come onto the team. That includes, we have 6 people, high schoolers, including 15-year-olds. This is their first job they've ever had, college-age kids, and then people who this will be their full, how they support themselves as well. So we're excited for all of them to get in here and start learning and serve the community here.
That's a lot of paychecks to write every week.
That is. Thankfully, 2/3 are direct deposit, but I do have about 30 that I have to write every single week, so it's a lot, yes.
Well, save a little bit for yourself, too.
Hopefully. We'll see. We'll see. I think there'll be a lot of excitement, so there might be something left over, but no guarantees, but I think we will.
Okay. We're going to go inside and take a look. I know I'm sure people are anxious, and as we're walking in, I see outdoor dining now. I know lots of folks in Plattsburgh like outdoor dining.
That's right. We might even get the crazy hardcore individuals who are out here in January and want to be in their winter apparel. But no, it'll be open. It'll be open probably in November. We'll start shutting it down. But so we have about 20 seats outside.
Oh, wow.
112 seats inside. So we can get a good amount of people in here, which is great.
All right, I have to admit that I have never enjoyed a Chick-fil-A at this point in time, but we're going to find a little bit about the history. Where's the nearest franchise?
So the nearest one to here is actually in Nashua, New Hampshire, which is just under 4 hours away, depending on how you hit the ferry and if you get it on time and how traffic and weather is and how fast you drive. So, but about 4 hours away, which makes it interesting logistically for me. But that's my closest neighbor. But yeah, I would love to tell you just a little bit. I know that the majority of people here in Plattsburgh have never had the opportunity to try Chick-fil-A, or if they have, maybe once or twice when they were, I found the most common vacation spots are Orlando, North Carolina, and Tennessee. Those are where everyone goes. They go down there. That's what I've found out. But I'd love to tell you just a little bit about our story. So actually our founder, his name was Cathy. He and his brother in 1946 founded the Dwarf Grill. That was the first restaurant that they started together. This is where they started kind of trying out different recipes and really where they started to give birth to the idea of the original Chick-fil-A sandwich. So that's what we're known for. It's a boneless breast of chicken hand-breaded on a toasted bun with 2 pickles. It's the #1. It's the original. We've been making it the same way for almost 55 years now. They did originate that. They got the inspiration for that, made that. We do cook it in 100% refined peanut oil. It is fantastic. My mouth is watering. We actually start training tomorrow, and I get to have one. It's been 2 months since I've tried it. We went into malls, and now we're in freestanders. So unfortunately, our founder, Cathy, has passed away. He passed away about 4 years ago. But it is a family-owned business, so we're not a privately held, or we're not a publicly held company. We are privately held, and it is now generation 2. So Dan Cathy and Bubba Cathy are the individuals who own the company at this point in time, which is great. We have a lot of that heritage and history from Cathy still in our roots today and still being able to be felt throughout the company, which is nice. But I believe my wife has over here a little bit about the menu, if we wanted to go over the menu.
I brought it over in case you wanted to see it.
Okay, well, we'll get that menu, but first I got to ask.
Please.
You're cooking in peanut oil.
Yeah.
And I hear a lot about peanut allergies.
Correct. So if you do have a peanut allergy, I would suggest that you talk to a physician on there. We do have things that are not cooked in peanut oil. We have grilled products. Also, our waffle potato fries are cooked in canola oil. But if a peanut allergy is something that you have, I would consult a physician before coming and trying some of our breaded products. But it is 100% refined peanut oil. You let your physician know that, and they'll let you know one way or the other. But some of our grilled products and our waffle potato fries are also fantastic. Our team members will be trained to make sure they have separate gloves, separate tongs, and everything, so there won't be a cross-contamination with the peanut oil on there.
Okay, because then we gotta address, because
for sure it's a big issue. And we have some other allergens on there as well. So if you do ever have an allergy, please let us know. We'll be more than happy to accommodate whatever that allergy is. We have gluten gluten-free options as well for you. So I know that's one of the big things that people have found out nowadays, that they need to stay away from gluten. But yeah, on there, actually, I would recommend, we have the menu here. It's probably too small for you to see. I would recommend,
I can zoom.
zoom in. I would recommend going onto Chick-fil-A, you know, our website, ChickfilA.com, but you can see we have our original Chick-fil-A sandwich, we have a spicy sandwich, nuggets and strips, and then up here on the other side, we've got our grilled products, as well as the club and our wrap. We also have salads. All of our side options are over here, and I'm going to flip it over real quick.
Sure.
So over here we got our salads. We have a Cobb salad, a market salad, and a Southwest salad. We make our salads fresh multiple times a day, so any of our prepped items will be handmade by an individual who has cut that lettuce or those strawberries that day. So lots of good things. And then I know a lot of people are excited about the milkshakes. We do have hand-spun milkshakes. They are fantastic. My favorite is the strawberry milkshake, but that's a personal preference. Come in and try them all for sure.
Try them all. Okay.
Try them all.
Not the same visit, though. Come back.
If you want to, maybe share. Have the whole family come share.
Man versus food here at Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, exactly. And then just to highlight as well, we also do offer breakfast. So breakfast, you might be thinking chicken for breakfast. What is this? Is a little bit crazy. But we have hand-rolled biscuits, so our biscuits are made fresh every morning. We also have these fantastic things called they're mini chicken minis with a little bit of honey butter on the top. It's a good little southern delicacy that we're able to bring up here, which is fantastic. So come on in for breakfast as well. Give us a try. And we would love to introduce you to Chick-fil-A.
All right, so you told me on the 4th you'll be opening at 6:30. Is that going to be your normal opening time?
So 6:30 in the morning is when we'll open up, and we'll stay open until 10 o'clock at night every day except for Sundays. Every Sunday we are closed. That is something that was actually started by our founder, Truett Cathy, from his very first restaurant here at the Door Grill, and it's carried on for all of his restaurants today. So it's an opportunity for our team to take a rest, as well as for our equipment to take a rest as well.
And, you know, when I was growing up, it was not unusual for a store not to be open on Sunday, but times have changed. And I know there's one of our favorite restaurants, my wife and I, in the area, mainly lobster and seafood. They're not open on Sundays. And,
yeah, we've tried it. It's very good. So we actually, they said they get their lobster from Maine and everything. So when we heard that, we went and tried it. I've had the lobster roll there. It's phenomenal. Highly recommend them as well. I love that little piece of home here in Plattsburgh, which I like. But yes, for sure, it's a great feature. And to be honest, for myself, being able to be closed on Sundays is a huge benefit as a business owner, because I'll actually get to see my wife, my beautiful wife, and we have a 20-month-old son as well at home. So to be an opportunity to see them. When you're a business owner, especially in a restaurant, you can get very sucked into the business. So making sure I have that day to be able to spend time with family is very important to me.
Okay, so important to know how to spell Chick-fil-A if they're going to go to the website.
Yeah, and it's spelled so Chick-fil-A, and it is Chick-fil-A. So I know a lot of people want to say Chick-fil, Chick-fil-A, and all kinds of stuff. There's no A in here. It's just Chick-fil-A. I know I had to train my parents on how to say it too. They're like, oh, that Chick-fil. Yep, no, Chick-fil-A. And if there's one opportunity, one last thing I'd love, if you come in or you want to swing by before the grand opening, we have this wonderful book house over here that I would love to take a moment while I have the camera to talk about. So we're going to be collecting any book donations, and we're going to put them here in the book.
New or slightly used.
Yep. New, actually, let's have my wife talk. She knows more about this.
So we're actually going to be donating the book house and its contents once it's full to the local YMCA, and they're going to take that and distribute that for throughout their facilities. So if you want to bring in a new or lightly used children's book, we're going to go ahead and put that in here, and then at the end of our grand opening week, we're going to donate this to the Y.
Okay, so you said before, you can do that before the 4th, you said?
Yeah, anytime between the 1st and the 6th, we'll be collecting the books.
Okay.
And I think I would be remiss if I don't mention an opportunity to get some free Chick-fil-A. So you may have heard the rumors, and I've heard it as wild as that if you're one of the first 100 people, you get free food for life. It's not that.
Well, if you die within a year.
Right. Yes. Hopefully not. But so let me just kind of dispel the rumors and let you know what it actually is. So if you come at 6 in the morning on Wednesday and you camp out for the full 24 hours, then you will get free Chick-fil-A for a year. What that means is that you will get 52 number one meals. So it'll be loaded on a card. You can swipe that card, and then it just slowly takes those numbers off. If you want to spend them all in one day, so be it. But it's an opportunity for you. We'll also be feeding everyone who comes out and camps breakfast, lunch, and dinner. There'll be an event planner here who's going to have different events that they're going to put on. I believe we have a DJ that'll be here, so it's going to be a really good time. Bring a tent. Bring a sleeping bag because you are staying overnight. We'll have the restrooms here that you can use so that we don't have to go out in the woods. We're not savages, but it will be camping on asphalt. So now you do have to be, for all the details and all the rules, again, I'm not a lawyer, and you actually have to sign a contract, but you do have to stay on site for 24 hours, and I believe you have to be 18 years of age. But for the rules, I would go to ChickfilA.com. You'll see that we're a grand opening here in Plattsburgh. You pull up and it'll give you all the information on there. You can also check out our Facebook page, and I believe that we have a lot of the information about the First 100 camp out there as well. So if you're doing nothing next Wednesday and you want to come and get some free Chick-fil-A for a year, that's a great opportunity. We'd love to see you out here.
All right, so will they get a number when they arrive? How are you going to keep track of 100? You might get 115 people out there.
So there'll be a line. So if you're in the first 100, I believe that they'll do up to 110 or 120. They'll do a raffle. And I believe they'll get 110 people. And basically, if you're the 101 through 110, you hope someone else has to leave because then you're the next one that pops in line. But it will be an opportunity for you. You can also say you're here camping out, you can have friends come and visit you, but they can't be the ones that participate in there. And I don't think they can camp out overnight either. But again, check all the rules online. I'm not the expert on there. We'll have lovely marketing people who will be here to let everyone know the rules. They're experts on it. But it will be a fun time. Mark it on your calendars if you're able to make it, and hopefully you'll be one of those first 100 individuals.
So husband and wife, they each get a ticket, or?
If they're both here, yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Right.
So if they're both here, they can camp out. That might be, Calvin, you should be here. Come on out. Bring out the tent. You can video record the whole thing.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's wonderful. Though.
Perfect. Well,
it's not going to rain that night, right?
I can't guarantee that. Though I've seen some first 100s where the weather's really bad and everyone will come in here and they actually are in here. So bad snowstorms or really bad weather.
Okay.
Now I can't guarantee you're allowed to do that, but if it gets really bad, we might show some mercy and have you come inside. But we'll see.
Rent them a room.
Yeah.
Rent them a table.
We have the Holiday Inn right across the street, right? But excellent.
Okay, so this is something that's routinely done with new
Yep.
openings.
So this has been a tradition that's carried on that first 100, and then So I think our CEO has been to multiple ones, and he always writes the date and the location on his tent, and he actually camps out with some individuals when they come. I don't know if he'll be here or not, but it is something that's been a tradition for a very long time. Just a way to celebrate and create a lot of excitement about a brand new store opening in a community.
All right, it sounds exciting. I don't know if I explained to you, but I explained to Neil before we started that we have 3 audiences that we're dealing with here. We got the people online who will be seeing this before the 4th.
Okay.
But we've also got the people on cable who will be seeing it after the 4th, and we also got people online who will be watching this 20 years from now.
20 years from now.
So they'll know what it was like back here in 2018.
That's right, when we were still getting our soda towers installed, before we've served our very first soda. But yes. But yeah, no, well, I'm excited for even 20 years from now. If you're watching this, you are welcomed here at this Chick-fil-A. We'll still be here. I'll still be here serving, and I'm excited to serve you. I'm just excited to become a part of this community and just really help. One of the things I'm passionate about and excited about is younger people. I had some people who took a chance on me when I was younger, gave me my first job. We have 6 individuals where this is their first job ever, and just to be able to have an impact on their lives is exciting for me, to help them pursue whatever it is that they're going to pursue after Chick-fil-A. So hopefully 20 years from now, I have one of those team members who maybe I took a shot on who's watching this video, and hopefully you're doing something that's amazing that you never would have been able to do without the experience that you're going to have here.
Yes, remember who made it possible.
That's right. Remember who made it possible.
And you got a drive-through window. So
yes, correct. So we do inside 112 seating inside, and we also do have our double-lane drive-through. So it goes from 2 lanes down to a single lane at the drive-through here, where it merges. So if you're in a rush but you still want to try Chick-fil-A, hop in the drive-through. We are expecting it to be super busy, but if you want to come in the morning, you can. I think we're going to be slower in the morning. Come by in the morning time frame on October 4th or even grand opening week. Probably you'll be able to get in here a little bit easier than during the peak periods of lunch and dinner.
And you can also use our mobile app.
Yes.
So we have the Chick-fil-A One app.
All right.
once you download that, you can set us as your store, and then you can place your order on the app.
Online.
And we actually have a parking spot designated for mobile orders, and we'll bring that meal out to you. Or you can decide on the app whether we bring it out to you or whether you come in and pick it up in our pickup area.
Okay. Now, how late will breakfast be served?
Breakfast ends at 10:30, so we'll be serving breakfast, and then so you are also able to get lunch if you'd like to, up until 10:30, but it will be a little bit longer of a wait than normal, so probably maybe 10 to 15 minutes leading up to 10:30. But primarily we'll be serving breakfast between 6:30 to 10:30, and then it'll be lunch after that point.
So, but if you want lunch for breakfast,
if you want
can get
lunch for breakfast, we will take care of you. It just might be a little bit of a wait, so as long as you're fine with that.
For lunch.
Correct.
We don't do breakfast for lunch or breakfast for dinner.
That's right. So if your heart's set on a biscuit, you got to get in here before 10:30. But if you want the number one, we'll make it for you whenever you want it.
That's where that mobile app will come in handy. You can order it, and it'll show up at 10:35, and you've already ordered it.
It's right. You'll already have it ordered. So for sure, the app also. So as soon as you place the order, so if we have a line, I've heard that there's some big lines that happen for new restaurants. So if we have a line out the door, you have the app downloaded. You're here. You go right onto the screens. You skip the line. So it's a great way for you to be able to try Chick-fil-A without having to wait in that giant line, which we're anticipating.
All right.
But excellent.
All right. Anything else inside here we should know about?
We do have our play place, so please excuse the mess. We're still getting organized, but we do have a play place. So if you have young children, please come bring them by. We've got a nice one. Our son, who's 20 months old, is the playground director. He's already tested out the slide.
All right.
He's verified that it's very fun. So we're excited to have you come on in.
What's his name?
Kids. His name's Theodore. Theodore, we call him Theo. He's already tested out the slide for us. It's a lot of fun over there.
So one thing I do like to point out about our playground is that it's for older kids, but it's also for 3 and under. We have a special section in the playground dedicated to the littler ones, with some things to turn, and it's some really cute stuff in there. There's a pet shop and a beauty shop, and the little guys can go in there and not feel like they're gonna get run over by some of the bigger kids. And then that is the 2 stories. They go up the stairs, and there's tubing up in the top with a car and a helicopter, and then our slide, which is kind of fast.
Sure.
Now.
We've both tested out.
I went down it, and it's pretty fun. Saying, so.
All right. So if you're watching 20 years from now, stop in and ask for Theo.
That's right. Yes. 20 years from now, ask for Theo. He might be a little bit bigger, maybe working actually on the front counter in the kitchen, but yeah, ask for him for sure.
All right. Anything else inside
That's
here?
it. Calvin, thank you so much for the opportunity to talk with you, to share a little bit about Chick-fil-A, a little bit about our story. And if there's just one thing to take away, is just how excited that my wife and I are to be here, to be able to introduce the brand of Chick-fil-A to everyone here in Plattsburgh. It's really humbling, but an incredible opportunity to be here.
All right. 7 months late, but welcome to the
That's right.
far north country.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
So we're back outside with Neil Fassett, and we're looking at where you'll come for the drive-thru. You'll drive in and come around and just head down this way, and there's 2 lanes for the drive-thru. So they're expecting a long line of people here. I know the new McDonald's in Champlain has 2 lanes like that, and it seems to work pretty good.
It does, and it's kind of the trend with a lot of these this restaurant type. More people on the go, more people want to just pick it up and go. The production of the food, I think, has just gotten better and faster over time, where they can really push it out the door, and frankly, it helps their sales volume. But these stores, their grand openings are, I haven't seen one, but I am told that it's quite a spectacle. This is going to be
people camping out.
The word I would use is maybe chaos. So
controlled chaos.
Controlled chaos. We're hoping for the control part.
Well, yeah, it should be interesting if nothing else.
Yeah, well,
now, who contacted who? Did you contact Chick-fil-A, or how did you?
So a lot of these national chains have a broad, usually it's a regional relationship with a broker, and the broker was doing site selection for them. He reached out to me, and that's kind of how they landed on this site, and it's pretty typical of the way that it works. A lot of people think that you can just reach out to them, make contact with them, and then they're going to directly call you. Almost all of them have a an exclusive relationship with a company that does pretty much all the real estate work, which is fine. You know, it's a normal thing that I'm accustomed to in the, you know, the work that I do. And you know, we hammered out the deal, and you know, here we sit. You know, it's been a long road to hoe, that's for sure. But it's pretty rewarding when you get to this stage of it, and you think back on when you first started, and you know, wondering if it can be done, and wondering how everything was going to work, and whether or not you can get it permitted and get everybody to go along with it and agree to the different things that you need to kind of get them to agree to, and it feels good. Feels good.
I'm sure you're as anxious for October 4th as they are inside here.
I am. You know, honestly, as much for them. You know, young couple, as we were just kind of talking offline. You know, I'm quite a ways ahead of them in my professional career, and you know, they're kind of just getting started. You know, they're the kind of people that we want to bring to our community. You know, they're energetic, smart, want to work, have made an investment, and you know, you can just hear the excitement, you know, coming out of their heart.
Yeah, and, it's genuine. That's for sure.
I just love it. You know, yeah. So I'm rooting for them. You know, maybe even more than me. You know, I just want to see them do well, and you know, kind of realize the American dream. So it's a cool thing.
Yeah, 95 people will have you know, at least a part-time job. I don't know, maybe be full-time, but obviously not 95. But there'll be a lot of kids that are getting their first jobs here or continuing, and so it's great.
It's great, and the word on the street about this company is that they really treat and respect their employees. I have investigated Chick-fil-A's in another area. Obviously, there isn't another one in this area. I've been to a few of them down south, and you talk to the people that work there, and it's a real legitimate kind of love of their employer and the company, and whatever Kool-Aid they're giving them at the front end of it, I mean, people just buy into it. They're very, and you can just tell talking to the Kings that they're just genuine, nice people, and they're not first thinking about, you know, I just want to make all this money. It's the experience, and it's the, you know, the delivering quality food and being part of a community, and you know, they legitimately care about that. And you know, in this day and age, that's become a lot more rare than common, from my perspective.
Yeah, well, you would be privy to a lot of that, I'm sure, because you know, it's how many dollars I can make, and if I can steamroll you to do it, I'll do it.
There's a lot of that.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, I appreciate you taking time here, Neil. Anything else that we should know about before I shut this camera off?
Nope. Other than as always, Calvin, I appreciate it. You do a great job, and you know, for the folks that are listening out there, Calvin puts in a lot of his own time to cover you know, community events and things that are going on, and he doesn't get a guaranteed salary, I do know that. But any of you that would send him a donation, and he didn't ask me to say that, I'm doing that on my own. I'd strongly encourage it, because this guy's got to feed himself and feed his family, and I'd encourage everybody to do that.
As you can see, I eat a lot too. So. All right, thank you for that, Neil.
Yep.
All right, welcome. We're coming here from what do we call it, Cornelia Street or Route 3 up here?
One and the same.
One and the same, right here near the 87 and across from Consumer Square, so it's very easy to find. So great new addition to Plattsburgh, and as we said, for the people watching 20 years from now, this is how it all started back here in 2018. Thanks for watching.